Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our final stream of Week 4 MNVL action. We got some Rocket League games up on the calendar for you. I'm your host, Skeptor. Joining me on the desk, Moonsum. How are we doing? How was your Christmas break?
It was amazing, Skip. I'm doing all right. I hope you had a good Christmas vacation as well. Moving into the
Pretty
game
solid.
here, we've got a bit of a surprise for all of you. We ended up having a quick change of plans, and instead of doing the classic 3v3 format, what we actually have right now is we're going to have a 2v2 fight between Park Center and Moorhead.
Yeah, so one player not available on either side of the coin. Honestly, we talked a little bit about it, but I do think that it favors Park Center due to the nature of this 2v2 combo of Ghosty and Phantom. They are both very solid players when it comes to mechanics, passing ability, you name it. Moonsum, these two are dynamic players and can do it all. So I'm expecting a fiery offense out of that Park Center squad. For Moorhead, we'll have to see what they have in store for us. I'm not as familiar with our two players representing Moorhead, Willy Dilly and Take Your Rockets.
All
So
right.
you let me know, right? Ghosty and Phantom, or are we rolling? Are we rolling with the second batch of gamer tags there? The thing is like the gamer tag doesn't matter. It's about the play that's on the server, right? Like it's not the painter's name that matters. It's
Right,
what
it's
is
the
on the
work.
canvas. Yeah.
Right,
So
right.
we'll
That
see.
and
Does Willy Dilly have it in him? That's the question I'm asking you
I
now.
was gonna say
Because
another
to
scary part,
me,
Skip, about just internet gamer tags in general is once you get to a certain point where you stop caring about that stuff, you know you're
right.
good. So know you're going up against on Moorhead side, but hey, anything can happen because of the nature of 2v2 format. There's a lot more open room, like you were saying, for counterplay. So I'll be excited to see how this ends up playing out.
All good. We are just trying to get some audio sorted out. We didn't have it on our end, but I think we are going to be loading back in very quickly. So appreciate the patience. Getting things going. It'll still be best of five format as per usual with the MNVL Rocket League. Park Center have been a very strong team throughout their play in MNVL Rocket League. This has been a team that has been sought after by multiple other schools, one of the top dogs without a doubt. So I mean, I think they are going to enjoy their time playing 2v2 Moonsum.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens as well. Like I was saying when we were having the audio issues, because of the 2v2 nature of Rocket League and this format in general, there's a lot more room for counterplays if someone misplays. The punishment that's available to either team for and can be made and taken advantage of, it's immense. And I think that's going to be a big equalizer for this format. That being said, like you said, Park Center is definitely going to be the team to beat.
Yeah, man. I think they won it like 2 seasons ago, if I'm not mistaken, and
Nice.
lost in the grand finals of the last one, or they lost in like the semifinals of the most recent tournament that we had. So they have been fierce competitors season in and season out, it seems. So definitely a team that, like I said, most teams have their sights set on as a team that you're going to have to eventually conquer if you want to reign supreme atop the Rocket League one of these days.
Right, especially if you're planning on continuing your esports career, you need to start just in general for everybody, and this goes for any other game too. You want to set your goals and set your eyes on the highest target, the best player. If you don't do that, and if you just stay stagnant on where you are gameplay wise, you're never going to improve, and
Yeah.
therefore you're never going to get better. You're not going to be higher ranked. You're never going to achieve a higher level of playstyle than you already have. So going up against hard teams like this, while it can be frustrating at times, it's such a uh, good exercise for those teams who are maybe a little bit less or lower ranked than the better teams, and it's just an amazing opportunity for you to capitalize on, win or lose on a game.
I mean, yeah, dude, this is what we were talking about. I hate to cut you off, but the mechanical prowess gonna shine through on the 2v2, especially. So much room to play on the field, so much extra space with subtracting those 2 cars from the mashup. And Park Center starting out early here, Moonsum. What more could you expect, right? Like,
right. This is kind of what we were expecting and kind of what we were led to believe what would happen going into the game. So this isn't a huge surprise. One thing I'm seeing right out of the gates, though, is if Moorhead doesn't play super aggressively and gives Park Center time to set up moves and aerials, it's over. I can already see that as far as airplay goes, Park Center kind of has one heck of a monopoly.
Yeah, man. Offense aplenty, and I mean, great offense means you don't have to play as much defense, but their defense is stout as well. So both ends of the field, this Park Center team is going to be menacing, without a doubt.
Yep, and it's going to be interesting because we've got at least 3 up to 5 games of this matchup. So another part about gaming and competitive playstyles is you need to adapt. You need to sometimes move away from your normal playstyle of maybe playing defensively and move toward more offense-based style. Because, like I just said, if you don't put pressure on your opponents, then they have just that much more time to set up and capitalize on that lack of aggression.
Yeah, 2 players that take advantage of that almost every single time would be Ghosty and Phantom. You can see another aerial attack coming through. Nice defense up on the post there. Able to kick it away for the time being. Phantom plays it back off the back wall to himself now. Going for an aerial play of his own. 30 in the tank. Not going to have enough to make it all the way there. Now looking for some support from his boy Ghosty. Up top. Double tap. Not quite going to find the marker. But as we were talking about, Moonsum, it is just consistent pressure in and out coming through for Park Center.
Yeah, one encouraging thing we're already seeing right now is Rockets and Wheelie are putting a lot more pressure on than other teams may have. Like, they seem to be doing what I was saying would be the best plan of action, because they are keeping that pressure on. You can see that Ghosty and his teammates, they're having a little bit more trouble setting up than they would normally. And that's really, really crucial for Moorhead to capitalize on, because if they don't have control of the ball and they don't have control for the entire game, they're not going to have the opportunity to score, counterplay or no. So it's really, really important that they make plays that'll get them control.
Moorhead is going to have to capitalize on the opportunities that they are presented, because they're not going to get many. I mean, look at this. Yeah. It feels like it's keep away right now.
Right. And
Park Center just taking their time, doing whatever they want.
And Phantom just almost set up and got another goal. I don't know whether he ran out of boost there or misplayed on his part, but we saw opening up right out of the gate earlier this game, he set up that exact same, what looked to be the same play, and got the first goal within a few seconds. That being said, Moorhead was making an attempt to try to bring the ball back to Park Center's side of the court, trying to put a point in their name and maybe move the game's favor back into their side.
Got a 2-0 lead here with 1:20 left on the clock. Park Center in control throughout the entirety of this game number 1. Moorhead got to figure out a way to make something happen here as time is dwindling away. The it's getting more difficult by the second here, Moonsung.
Yeah, and especially when you're playing competitive, you feel every second ticking down on the clock. Especially when you get different notifications, like in Rocket League, where you have limited time and you know it, the game knows it, your enemy knows it. It can be really hard, not just gameplay-wise, but also mentally, to try to stay focused and try to stay determined to make a comeback, you know? Moving into it, we've seen a lot of play on Park Center side of the court, a lot of pressure put there, but every now and again we do see Moorhead putting pressure and getting close to scoring a goal on Park Center. So I don't think this game is going to be as big of a landslide as we were thinking. Hopefully it's a lot closer, because right now we've gone, what, 3 minutes without a single goal? That means that Moorhead's starting to adapt. They're starting to learn the playstyle. And while they may lose this round, they've got 2 more rounds at the very least to come back.
A little bit,
pull it back.
But I hate to break it to you, but Park Center, a lot of times, dude, they just pick and choose when they're going to run up the score or not, man. I've seen this team, yes. I'm not trying to troll you right now. Like,
oh, I get it. Like,
there's times when they're scoring, yeah, they're reaching double digits, and we still have, like, a full 3 minutes on the clock. So they were definitely they kind of pulled back the offense after going up 2-0. You saw how they just brought the ball back and would kind of control it, kind of time clock management, essentially.
That's evil.
Is what it was. Yeah, dude, that's literally what I was just watching right there. So I'm not going to say that it was just like Moorhead put up the, the Berlin Wall, and nobody was getting past. No, that's not fully the story. Park Center definitely just slowed down how much offense they were showing us, but we'll see. We'll see kind of how this story progresses into the second game here, but a 1-0 lead for Park Center. It is Phantom and Ghosty, the duo, to claim that first game. What do you want to see differently from Moorhead going into this second game here?
Ideally, they keep control of the ball, like you just talked about. Park Center, albeit to the point where I didn't even realize, they had control of the ball and they had full control of the game the entire time. So Moorhead, if they get the opportunity, which they might not, but if they get that opportunity, they need to capitalize on it and keep that momentum going. But oh my lord, Skep, having that feeling where they're just dangling the carrot in front of you, like you said last game, horrifying. It's horrifying and just so demoralizing. That being said,
look at that right there. Just fake that was going to be a full take all the way through. Didn't have the boost to finish, so he just kept the ball to himself and brought it into the corner so they can reset. It's always a control game with Park Center. Immediate follow-up from Ghosty. The first go didn't look good, so they set it up top. Ghosty comes in, perfect off the crossbar to himself. Finish is immediate. And I mean, that only took
20 seconds.
Yeah, 20 seconds.
Went back into
1-0 lead.
A quick goal off the bat, but it was deflected by Ghosty back. Once again, they are just juggling the ball right in front of them. It's like eating a candy bar in front of children. It's hard to watch.
Just that confident in their control, man, of the ball. It's crazy. These two are different. We'll see how Moorhead can try to adapt their play. They got to find something offensively. Not much is granted when playing against Phantom and Ghosty, but not the time to think about, you just got to kind of find a way to get that ball in the net at this point in time.
Right.
Take away some of that time and space from Ghosty and Phantom.
Yeah, so Skep, we've heard a lot of what I have to say about the team composition and kind of see what teams could be doing differently. What do you think that Moorhead needs to do here?
I mean, dude, they just had a wide open goal and they just opted not to score it right there. Like, they're actually playing with their food. For Moorhead's sake, it's going to be they have to get on the ball carriers immediately. Like, the second Ghosty and Phantom are getting to set up for aerial play, it's just over, right? Like, the aerial barrage and assault that it transpires is no bueno for the side of Moorhead. So you got to pressure them early. Take away that time and space, like I was just saying.
Yeah.
Shot from up top. That could be another one off the crossbar, leaving it. And another 2-0 lead for Park Center, but a little bit more of what I was seeing in that first game.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Skep, yeah, ooh, nearly. Goal blocked by, I believe that was...
Yeah, good defense.
Yeah, I believe by Take Your Rocket. That is what you need to do, as well as maintain offense and aggressiveness. So, Skep, moving forward and kind of just talking more generalized, like, gameplay and just mechanics, mechanical development. You're a lot more accustomed with Rocket League than I am, and probably, I guess I'm not the one to really say this because I don't have a ton of experience in Rocket League. But that being said, we see a huge skill gap here between the two teams. What do you think the hour difference is, the time put into this game? Because unlike first-person shooters where, yeah, once you get the muscle memory down and kind of get down the feel of the game, I feel like Rocket League is a lot more nuanced in play.
I don't think it's
mechanics.
I don't think it's as big of like a skill gap. Okay, so the skill gap is there, but it's mainly the biggest stat that matters this entire 2v2 is just ball possession and ball control. Ghosty and Phantom are never like wasting hits. All right, that was a perfect play from our head. They're being a little bit too fancy, a little bit too fumbly around with the ball, right? Not really just playing the game. And I mean, Take Your Rockets is going to take full advantage of that situation, cutting the lead to 2-1. So well played from Rockets. But I mean, like I said, ball control is the biggest thing that I've been looking at this entire time in this series. Phantom and Ghosty are never just giving the ball away, right? Never just giving the ball away.
Right. Even that goal by Moorhead, that
was a takeaway. I mean, they had to take the ball off the hood of their car for that to happen. So, which is well played from Moorhead. That's what I've been looking for. You got to stay aggressive.
Right, and sometimes it's hard to go up against a team like this.
Very hard.
On and head on. So sometimes you kind of have to do what Moorhead did that goal and just kind of pull the rug out from beneath their feet.
Got to fight fire with fire, and especially if they're trying to play slow, is speeding them up, making them uncomfortable about their process, right? Things like that. That can kind of pay some major dividends. Ball out front. Still a 1-goal lead. Nice pressure from Willy Dilly now down court.
Not
Kick
quite
to
a
the
goal,
side.
but lined up.
Phantom now back the other way.
Trying
to apply pressure. Nobody hit it on the Moorhead side. It's a bit of a whiff. Somehow stays out for the time being, but 40 seconds on the clock. Not out of harm's way just yet. Good ball here from Ghosty into the corner. Out front for Phantom. That's a wide open goal, and they're going to take advantage of that every day of the week. 3-1 now. Park Center with the lead.
30 seconds left on the clock. And Skip, I'm wondering, what do you think is going on in their mind right now on the Moorhead side? What do you think that they're trying to do? What do you think they're saying to each other to try to like hold this game back? I mean, granted, this might be a little bit harder of a game to pull back with 30 seconds on the clock once again, but we've seen goals in 4 seconds. It's possible. But
I think what they're saying to each other is, you know, hey, we got one that game. Better. All right. We did better. But now, this next one, we got to come out and from start to finish, we got to play with that aggression. Because we saw their aggression kind of slowly rev up throughout the course of that game, too. I need to see caution to the wind, and I need to see them come out with that fire start to finish.
Yeah, it's just looking for those opportunities to make counterplays and to really try to capitalize on them. It's hard because teams like Phantom and Ghosty, it's hard to find those gaps in their defenses. It's hard to find those points where they're not on the ball with possession and full control of the game, you know?
Their positioning is prime. They've played together for a long time. So they are both well aware as to what the other person wants to do. I'm sure their communication is also on point. So overall, I mean, this is probably the most fierce duo we have in Minnesota Varsity League. Rocket League right now, and I'm not even trolling by saying that.
So I'm hearing
Like,
is if we had Rocket League 2v2s,
these guys
be,
would dominate. It wouldn't be close.
Good to
Yep.
know.
That is my hot take of the stream for this evening.
Only one. You're getting.
That's it. I don't think I've had anything else that's been too hot of a take so far for this stream.
Well, we've only been in it for what, 20 minutes?
Oh, no.
There's still
quicker
plenty of
than
time.
that. I'd say we're on like the 12 to 15 minute marker right now of being live. Okay, maybe 20. Maybe 20. Maybe I'm trolling. I guess we had we had the delay. We had the delay before we kind of got the game going. You know?
Yeah.
That's what we'll chalk it up to.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Back on the task at hand. Park Center up 2-0 to Moorhead. We've talked about it. I've said what I need to see from Willy Dilly and Take Your Rockets. They got to come out and they got to take this ball. They got to take this game back. Park Center has just been getting everything they want. So Moonsum, I mean, I'm needing a little bit more cowbell.
Yeah, I hear that. I'm definitely hoping for that as well because close games are always much more fun to watch. I feel like close games are also a lot more enjoyable for each team too.
All right.
Because
watching from the sidelines on this one, I'm down with it. Ghosty bringing it back over the back of his net. We caught Maniac AFK. Ladies and gentlemen, it's happened. Maniac, it's over for you. There's no hiding from this one. We got you dead to rights. The bloody game started with 20 seconds in now, and Maniac is sealed up back in his chair.
Maniac, you maggot, get back to your post.
GG.
Yeah.
All right, well, no goals yet, so that's plus side for Moorhead.
Yeah, almost 40 seconds in now, and you can definitely see that there's a lot more of a focus in the game going. I
like that you get a wide shot of the field, right? Like we're getting to see a broad perspective. This is like what the soccer coach is seeing on the sidelines. We're getting that head coach POV right now. Oh, nice stop at the goal line for Ghosty. Ball in a dangerous position, but of course Phantom coming in out of the corner of your screen like Superman. I'm kind of messing with this angle. I mean, granted, I would like the scoreboard to not be in the middle of the screen, but hey. Maniac! Are you here? It's over. It's over. That was genuine crash out from me, and it's Park Center scoring the first goal of this game, number 3. I mean, this is a first, bro. This is a first.
Yeah, like you said, Scott, this is a really nice angle aside from the big, gigantic, massive scoreboard in the middle. As far as games like this go with Rocket League, this is just a huge testament to momentum and just kind of how gameplay and how momentum in games work, right? Like, it feels like to me, from the games I've seen, players get a point, they get a leg up from the competition, and just run away with it.
I'm trying to message him.
We've had some pretty
at this point,
big
I hope everything's okay.
Matches, but to all the viewers out there, I'm getting a ton of notifications right now of someone's. I'm not gonna name names, but they are.
Good. He was fighting crime. He's Clark Kent.
Had to come back.
GG. Welcome back, good sir. We are into the thick of it. That's all good. Take Your Rockets. Gotta get demoed in front of his own goal. You hate to see it.
You hate to see it, Skip, but on the right side, Moorhead did successfully block that goal. So, on the one hand, yeah, someone did get demoed, but they did keep the score close. They have managed to keep the score from being a blowout. We're seeing a lot of back and forth, too, of this game, is what I'm noticing. Between Ghosty and Dilly Willy, or Willy Dilly. But
again, man,
like
it's that playing with the food, man.
Yep.
It's literally what it is, and it's apparent. I've watched too much of these guys to know when they're playing for real, when they're having a fun time. So it is what it is. It makes the game go by quicker doing this though than scoring like 16 or 12 times, right? Like, at
Right,
what
much
point
more,
do you just provide mercy and let it go through?
Much more fun with games where you get to see some little sparkle
But if you keep it too close, it leaves that door just open a crack with a chance that Moorhead could peek their head back in.
Hey man, everyone loves close games. I mean, sure, I don't know if they're gonna let the game turn on its head and let Moorhead win this, but the hope that's there, it's always
That
fun.
was dirty work. That was
Phantom
actually
goes
dirty
in.
from Phantom.
Yep, Phantom goes in, scores a second goal, the second goal of the game, bringing Park Center up 2-0 from Moorhead. With 54 seconds left on the clock, it's becoming a little bit getting kind of apparent that there's a team that is really just playing with their food, like Skep says. That being said, Moorhead almost did just get a cheeky goal off of Park Center.
Kickoff, not bad. Good opportunity, right?
Yeah, I mean, the game that's in the game design, right? You gotta make plays like that. You gotta kind of take your opponents off by surprise. Like we saw last game, they pulled the rug up underneath the Park Center's feet, so you know, anything can happen. I don't know if Park Center was expecting that goal that happened in game 2, but it definitely did catch everybody by surprise, including us, right?
Yeah, but that's going to be the lone goal, it seems, that Moorhead will get in this one. 3-0, Park Center are going to clean up and close out this series in a dominant fashion, as per usual. I just hit the money line on my pre-game prediction.
Yeah.
No offense to Moorhead, but the opposition, I knew what was in store, especially with the 2v2. I mean, dead to rights. Ghosty and Phantom are different, and they've proven it to us yet again. So, props to Park Center and Moorhead for stepping out and coming onto the stream. Like, actually genuine thanks. We were struggling to find some games tonight, so we appreciate both of those teams in schools hopping onto the server for us and playing. Even though it was a 2v2, we appreciate you guys, so thank you both. Firm handshakes in the Twitch chat for our solid squads here. But it is Park Center walking away with the clean 3-0. So we are done with our first series of the evening, folks. We are going to cut to a break, and when we come back, we have Central and a MNVL fan favorite, Egan, stepping out onto the stream. It's been a while, so grab some snacks now, grab your drinks, whatever you got to grab, get it now. When we come back, 3v3 Rocket League will be taking place.
Here at Concordia St. Paul, you will have the opportunity to earn a degree, make lifelong friendships, and play a game you love on an esports scholarship. For more information, visit
I sounded so, like, timid.
Here at Concordia St. Paul, you will have the opportunity to earn a degree, make lifelong friendships, and play a game you love on an...
You just take so long to try to prove a point, and it's like you don't have to go that deep.
Yeah,
Here at Concordia St. Paul, you will have the opportunity to earn a degree, make lifelong friendships, and play a game you love on an esports scholarship. For more information, visit csp.edu/esports.
Life isn't one size fits all, and college shouldn't be either. The University of North Dakota is consistently ranked a best value in the Midwest. That means whatever you decide to study, you know it'll be worth it. A better job, less debt, and ready for whatever comes next. Because there's one thing we all have in common. We lead our own way.
coming in and actually seeing all the computers filled with kids, and they have on their jerseys and they got their coaches next to them, and I see direct parallels over to football.
There's just not a lot of knowledge about gamers out there. People just don't know what they don't know.
They have to develop teamwork like any other physical game does. You don't have the teamwork, you don't win.
You take a kid who never had confidence before and you give them confidence, and you can see what they can do with their lives.
As Roseville will find their golden moment. 9 moments of the round. Audacity to his own demise, and Apple Valley are going to do it. They're going to be the first team to win 4 state titles. Very close here. Very nice spot dodge going through that. And fair. Go straight in, go wide, but Flo able to get the rebound, and Egan has a 2-goal lead right. Then it's open and it is gone. They're still on some health. We'll go in, and there you go. The Pillagers will be your MNVL 2023 Fall State Champions.
Nice side B. Okay. Wait, yeah, just carry him. Put him on the pain train. Smash HP. He just yoinked that game.
Not quite able to get anything done with that. Dry possibly goes for double tap off the backboard! And able to get a score off the top.
Both are very low. I think they're both 1 HP. Doesn't know whether...
Oh!
Snap! TMR for the clutch!
Here at Concordia St. Paul, you will have the
Why?
Nice side.
Why be a nurse when you can be a nurse, potter, power lifter, foodie, comedian, dog advocate? Here, you'll grow in a place where your identities and interests are valued, your passions prioritized. As a Gusty, you'll write your own story, make connections, and learn to live with purpose. On purpose. Gustavus Adolphus College. Gusties get more out of college.
All right, folks, we were informed of some troubling news right before cutting to the break. I had promised some 3 versus 3 Rocket League. And unfortunately, Egan's third team member has fallen asleep. Yeah, that's right. He was taking a nappy. He was watching the first game, and it was so action-packed that he ended up hitting the snoozer. And now we've lost him. He's in the Shadow Realm. Egan can't find him. It's 0 dark 30, no comms. So he's gone. He's out. It's now a 2-on-3. Egan is going to be fighting for their lives because Captain Snooze is actually gone. I don't know what happened. Moonsum, before we get into it, I'm going to shout out our sponsors, our lovely sponsors that make it happen here at MNVL. We'll go down the list. We got University of North Dakota. We've got St. Cloud State. Okay. We've got Gustavus. We've got Concordia St. Paul. We've got Bethany Lutheran. And we also have Verbero. All right. Those are our 6 sponsors. I believe I just got them all. If I missed any, my apologies. Other than that, though, dude, 2-on-3. What do you got for me, Moonsum? 2-on-3 here. What's the plan of attack?
On Egan's side or Central's?
Egan's side. They got 2 people.
All right. On Egan's side, I think the best way to play is going to be defensive, and then just look for those opportunities when Central makes openings in their defense. Because otherwise, they're outmanned, right? They're going to have a hard time brute forcing anything. And to be honest, just the manpower advantage that Central has, you don't want to be up against that. So let's see Egan play some good counterplay, and let's hop into it.
Egan down a man, never out of the fight. This is a squad that will fight tooth and nail till the bitter end. So I'm excited to see what we have in store here. Got Flo and Jazz. Another timeless duo here, honestly. Maybe these two could give a little bit of a rivalry to the squad we just saw a little bit ago in Ghosty and Phantom. They've been around, dude. They've bled in the server. Blood, sweat, and tears. I'm not even trolling.
Ooh.
Okay. What's the game plan, though? Like, you're in a 2-on-3, man.
Yeah, for Central, because Central's going to be pushing their advantage. Like I said, they've got manpower. They've got a lot more opportunities that they can make themselves, and Egan wouldn't be able to do anything about it. So Egan needs to be able to identify what Central's doing, counter it, and then push that advantage. Because otherwise, how else are you going to be able to win this on Egan's side?
Agreed. We'll have to see. Egan in orange. Central in blue. Well, early on showing. Ooh. Shot. That was a wide open goal.
Yeah, Central goes for a shot and hits it just too high. While it is only not even 30 seconds into the match, Central and Egan seem pretty even. They're going back and forth between each other's sides of the court, and it's kind of interesting because whereas last game we saw predominantly one team having control of the game the entire time, this is going to be a little bit more interesting and fun to watch because it's going back and forth.
I mean, Egan just had a golden scoring opportunity right there that they could not find the marker on. They go off the post.
So far, both teams have.
Only having the 2 guys, man. Only having the 2 guys, you're going to have to capitalize on the scoring chances that are given to you.
It's hard, too, when you get situations where one teammate goes to defend a goal, misses that goal, and then their other teammate is trying to pick up the slack of their teammate who missed the ball in defense. Like, every misplay you have is detrimental. But if you're down a player alongside that misplay, it can be so much worse. And so far, Egan's doing a great job maintaining their play style. They're doing a good job keeping control of the ball and keeping pressure on Central. As I say that, Egan goes in, scores another one by Flo, bringing the total score up to 2-0. Honestly,
goals for the Egan squad so far. Good positioning, good placement.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, Flo and his teammate, I can't even read it. Flo and his teammate, you said that they have some, they go back. They've played in the league for quite a bit. So, yeah, yep. Jazz. There it
They've
is.
been teammates for a bit.
Not Jazz? Nuo.
Oh,
sorry.
This is... Okay. Nuo. I thought it was Jazz. Maybe Jazz no longer... Alright, all good, all good. Regardless, man. The Egan boys are well practiced.
Nuo. Okay. We're getting a lot of, we're getting some information on production side, everyone who's watching, and we're learning pronunciation. Sorry, we are doing this a minute and a half into the game, but better late than never, right?
You know what? Sometimes that's just the way it's gotta go, right? You're gambling at the end of the day. Alright, that was too easy.
Yep. There we go. Nuo scores again.
They're down a man. And the enemy team has boxed in their own net.
Yeah, just like I was saying, Skip, Egan is looking for those counterplays. They're finding them. They're capitalizing on every misplay that Central's performing, and they are being rewarded for it. The score is currently 3-1 in favor of Egan, with 3 minutes left on the clock. This is going to be a lot more of an interesting game than a full-on blowout, I'd say.
Yeah, as much as there was some back and forth at the start, it just felt like Egan have gotten a little bit of a vice grip on this game. I mean, up 3-1. Ooh, Central, good opportunity though, but
just
Respawn off the demo, gonna save them from letting that one go. Ball downfield. Going back to get it as Flo now. Good defense, good intersect.
Just barely defended by Egan. Honestly, Skip,
up top.
This is quite a bit more of a fun game to watch, I'd say. You're seeing a lot of different playstyles come to culmination because, yeah, could be indeed. But, yeah, with 2 men down, Egan's doing a great job capitalizing on opportunities that are presented. As far as it goes for Central side, all they need to do is just lock in, and they can pull the score back real quick. I don't know, Skip, if you're super familiar with these guys either, but would you say that anybody's playing with each other with playing with the food analogy?
No, this is seeming like a pretty legit game, back and forth wise. Egan's just being down a man. You have to be a lot more respectful in terms of when you pick and choose, kind of like when you're going to go forward. It's got to be the right place at the right time, kind of thing. So we've seen a lot more, I'd say, like, I don't even know what the correct word is. Maybe it's patience. Maybe it's like, just like holding back a little bit on the Egan side, because it's like, whereas in 3v3, yeah, you have that guy that can kind of go in and pick it up or go down and chase. You kind of have to keep the guy back, and you have to be a little bit more cautious on the side of Egan.
Yeah,
good bump from Flo, and that's a freebie tuck. 4-1 now. Egan coming out with a little bit of a landslide at this point.
Yeah, to tell you the truth, Skip, this isn't one I was expecting at all. I was kind of expecting a bit of a reversal of the current scores, to tell you the truth.
Egan is a very good team. I was not trying to cut it by any means. All. But, yeah, but I mean, it's a 2 versus 3, so I get your point, right? You'd expect the team with the 3 to just automatically have that advantage. Egan, a well-practiced squad, a team that finished 2nd place last state final, I believe is correct. So, like, there are quite the experienced players on this squad, and I mean, they come to win every week.
Yeah, I love seeing a good competitive game. Like, I think I've said this in past streams before, but competitive gameplay and competitive esports, it's just a league above. Like, you have couch parties, you have messing around with your friends online, but this is where it really gets real. This is where you separate the men from the boys, so to speak.
For sure. Egan, I mean, only having 2 players, not affecting them that much. as they come out with a 4-1 Game 1 victory here to kick off our second series of the evening, folks. Appreciate you all being here with us. But, I mean, yeah, this is going to be our final series of the night. So we'll see. Can Egan reign supreme, come out on top in the 2 versus 3, or will Central find their groove, find their footing, and start to kind of fight their way back into this one here?
Yeah, it's anyone's game, Skip. And looking at the scoreboard right now and looking at the results of last game, I'm noticing a pretty clear difference in shots taken between Egan and Central. Do you think that's mostly based on who had control of the ball for the most time in last game, or do you think that's something else?
I think that is, yeah, that's definitely ball control for sure. I mean, Egan, at the start of the game, Central had a little bit of time where they were kind of in control and kind of making some things happen. But very quickly after that, it was the likes of Egan to kind of dominate time possession with the ball, it seemed. So eyes will be kind of kept closely on how the start of this one goes, right? Like, is it going to be more of that same? Or Egan going to be dictating the pace of play with only 2 guys to their team, right? Like, if that's the case, then I don't feel too confident for the Central side of things. And Egan needs to get punished every time they whiff like that. Only having 2 guys, a whiff counts almost as like double as painful as it normally would.
Yeah. Because you got different roles that players kind of fall into, like offense, defensive, kind of chase. When you're missing one of those key roles like that, it gets so much easier to capitalize on. And Central's just struggling to find that positioning where they can capitalize on it.
And Flo gonna find the first of this game. Surprise, surprise. Egan's right back.
Yeah, and going back on what I said before when we first got into the game, Egan's doing a really good job brute forcing it. Like, I know I said that counterplaying is going to be their best shot at winning, but what I'm noticing is Egan, rather than playing a lot more straightforward, they're going for demos. They're going for different, unique play styles that normally wouldn't be as common, but it's working, and it's definitely rewarding them.
Ball to the corner. Kicked out to midfield. Trying to find some pressure for the side of Central. They get it down into the Egan zone, but no real scoring chances coming out of that opportunity, and that's something that you can't really afford if you're Central, especially being down and not getting as many shot attempts as we saw the likes of Egan get in that game number 1 there, Moonsun.
Yeah, Central definitely got lucky this last go round. The ball was in their goal, and somehow they got it out. Normally, and this is probably something to do with them being down a teammate on Egan's side, but normally if a ball's in your goal, it's kind of over, you know?
Normally.
Yeah, you just take that point, and that's about it. Anyway,
and
going
it's
back...
Egan getting a second. A 2-goal lead as they continue to climb.
Yeah, Central, they need to start looking at honing their gameplay, and they need to start locking stuff down, because the different gambles they're taking by going for risky plays and the different misplays that they're performing, those are being punished hard. Egan is doing a great job creating openings for themselves, as well as capitalizing on counterplays right now. And Central needs to do something about that. With 2 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock, they've got quite an uphill battle to try to bring the score back in, you know? As I'm saying that,
yeah.
Egan is going for one heck of an air shot. Shut down by
their
Central.
Their aerials have been on point for sure. Egan's been very solid with that. Even with the 2-man roster.
Yeah, Flo and Nemo, they're doing a good job kind of coordinating with each other. Like, to everyone who's watching this, you can't hear them right now, but they're doing a great job communicating. Like, normally it's hard to communicate with 3 people, and normally it's hard to be a cohesive team, but it's even harder to fill up the 3rd role when he's not there, you know?
For sure. Constantly having to fill another role's vacancy could be difficult. 1:45 on the clock. It is Egan still with a 2-goal lead here, Moonsum. And now it is Central with the daunting task of finding this goal, trying to even up and call their way back in. I mean, it's gotta hurt, right? Being down a player, or being up a player rather, and just fighting a losing battle as the score climbs to 3-0 now. Egan in charge.
Yeah, Skep, I'm seeing a lot of different plays that Central's trying to pull off that just misses by like an inch, and that's it. They get punished so hard for it. Moving into the next game and kind of the future of their match here, what do you think Central needs to do here? Because we're seeing the right ideas being played. We're just seeing some suboptimal execution, I'll say.
We just saw a demo come out right there, and it immediately puts Egan on notice because it's only one active player on the field. If you are able to land a demo, so busting out some demos or taking players out of the play could be absolutely massive for the side of Central. The big question is, are they going to be able to get up to or catch up to these Egan cars, because they seem to always be flying around at Mach speed. So good ball out front. No follow-up just yet. Now chasing all the way downfield. And I mean, it's Egan in control yet again.
Yeah, they're up in the air, really trying to just run away with the game here. But yeah, I agree with you, Skep. Even if Central goes and plays a risky gamble of assigning someone to be Demo Man, I feel like even a 2v2 with someone trying to put constant pressure on the players themselves rather than the ball, that might be a different play style that Egan might not be as accustomed with, you know? On that note, folks, we're going down to 10 seconds left on the clock. Central's at 0 still, while Egan is up 4. Counting down to 7 seconds. It's not looking good here, fellas. We're going to be going down to what? Egan have
just been in charge. They've been in control, man, the whole time. It's felt like Central have been trying. They've been looking for areas to kind of fight back. But again, I mean, the shot count going heavily in favor of Egan. They did a very good job throughout this second game, again here, of controlling the ball and limiting opportunities from the opposition, it seemed.
Yeah, Skep, I totally agree with you, and scoreboards definitely do as well. I mean, looking at it, you have 2 shots on Central's side versus the 10 shots that Egan took. Between 2 players in them totally... Actually, no, that's... We've got some... 9 shots, sorry. We've still got a little bit because of the sudden change to the... Actually, no. Yeah, there's... Sorry. At any rate,
yeah,
we're
no, you're good, man. It's just, it looks like 3 because we're the ghost of player 3 is, sleeping right now.
Yep.
Nuo and Flo combining
for 9. He's in here in spirit, right?
Yeah.
Nemo.
What did I say, Nuo?
Mm-hmm.
GG. Well, I guess they're going to have my head for this. 2-0 series lead. Egan well in control. They've been playing nicely throughout. Looking to close out in a 3-0 and a 2-on-3. Are they able to do so? We'll have to find out shortly, Moonsum, but it looks like they have the means and the makings to do it.
Yeah, and this might be just me pulling off a read here, but it seems like Egan is feeling pretty confident right now. We're seeing a lot more aggression by Flo and Nuo, and I think that's really gonna take Central by surprise, because before the last 2 games, they've been playing kind of off of Central's misplays. Now I think they're ready to just run away with it. As we're saying that, we've got Egan up at Central's goal, really really just juggling the ball around, trying to get it in. As Central
Seems
shoots
like
ball, brings it back to center of the court, and overall, this is just one dog fight.
Central are just conceding, man. They're just conceding way too much space. They have the player advantage, and yet we're seeing 2 or 3 players grouped up all around the net, right? Like trying to huddle back. I mean, you gotta be applying the pressure if you're Central. You can't back up and let Egan come to you. On the contrary, you got to bring the fight to them.
Exactly, 100%. And like you pointed out, they're grouping up. So maybe that's a bit of a communication error on their part. I don't know. Normally, when you play, you have one person on defense, usually, and maybe someone as an insurance policy in case they miss. But having all 3 players going after defense like that, instead of putting pressure on, trying to get the ball away, and trying to get it away from Egan's hands, you can't be doing that, especially when you're up a player. That being said, Central did just tie the game with the score being 1-1 now, with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock. It's still anybody's game, and should Egan let Central run away and bring it back? Which, now that I'm saying it, Egan is not letting that happen.
Immediate answer.
Yeah, they heard me. They heard me. Are they watching stream?
Yeah, they definitely are. Well, the thing is like most important play is immediately resulting of a goal, right? Because you can take all that momentum that the other team gained and immediately kind of neutralize it, or you can continue, take that torch right where you just left off and continue kind of lighting that fire. And Egan, I mean, they just take away that enemy morale immediately. It's been so long since Central had scored, and they finally get their goal, and for Egan to do that, I mean, it's got to hurt. But the recipe and the solution is another answer goal to tie things back up at 2 apiece, Moonsum, and they've done it. Central are fighting back.
Yeah, this is super encouraging to see. Egan and Central are both starting to learn their play styles of what they need to do. I think, like I pointed out earlier, Egan was getting a little bit too big for the boots, and that came back to bite them. As I'm saying that, it looks to me like Central just brought it up 3-2, and now Central is in control of the game, being up 1 point.
That's crazy.
Now, yeah, they really brought it back. Granted, there's still 3 minutes, and anything can happen in that, but between the 3 answer goals, right back to back to back, you know, I think
Central coming out on top is huge for them.
Yeah,
Flow
we just about
on the
saw
follow-up. Nice shot. Laser beam will get deflected up and high. Out of the zone. Flow now back to gather. Trying to set the ball up top. Chips it to himself around the midfield position. Now going for it. Tries to go low on the goaltender. The rebound is good from Niwo. And we are tied up at 3 apiece. Good setup from Flow.
This is a huge change of pace, don't you think? Like, we went from games being somewhat close in the second game and then a complete blowout to both teams are scoring back to back to back with answer calls. But what is this going to amount to, you know? If we just keep going back and forth, eventually it's going to become a toss-up of who gets the last goal, you know? As I'm saying that, Courtlander goes ahead and brings it back up with another answer goal, 4-3 in favor of Central with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock. Man. I think Central really just locked in and started really pulling off the right plays, you know?
Yeah, that's what it seems. Central have been dialed the most in this game, number 3 out of any before. Bringing the fight to that Egan squad, not giving them any time or space, which is something we were looking for earlier on. Just took them a little bit to kind of break out of that shell. But now for Egan's sake, down a goal, up 2-0. So you have that in your pocket for the time being. But I'm sure they are wanting to get out of this in a 3-0 fashion. So we'll see if they let it slide. 1 goal advantage. 2 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock here. Ball out to midfield. Nobody home just yet. Central goes high with the ball. Nice gather.
Yeah, and we're really seeing
safety.
Yeah, we're really seeing what we were talking about earlier of Central pushing that advantage. Egan, if they don't realign their play style here, if they don't start playing back in a counter play fashion, they're gonna start really feeling some repercussions from Central. As I'm saying that though, Egan does fire back and hit another goal cross court, bringing the total score up to 4-4.
Yeah, I mean, there we go. We have a tied up game, 4-4 we go. Absolutely. It's kind of crazy that Central brought it all the way back to 4-4 here. Egan staking right there with them, not letting them get too far ahead. And now, with under a minute and 30 to play, everything kind of coming down to this. Egan can close out the series if they win this game. Otherwise, Central will push it to a game number 4.
Yeah, you'd love to see it there, Scott, because when we have longer games like this, it really gives the players even more opportunity to shine and show off what they can do.
Egan being some pests in this offensive zone right now, not letting Central get this thing cleared by any means. 1 minute remains. Flow now coming through off the back wall. Both defenders will go. Central's been a little bit boxed in their zone, but now trying to stop it dead at the center field. Not going to matter. It's turned around. Flow gets denied for the time being. Central now with an opportunity coming back into the offensive zone. 30
demo.
seconds on the clock. A demo will help. Airborne ball. This is trouble. A shot on goal. Defended nicely by Flow.
Just
ball
barely.
back out to the midfield position. Flow back to goal. Tries to defend it.
Flynn.
They fumbled the defense. And
Scored by
they
Flow.
bumped the ball into their own goal. Oh my goodness. That can't be the way that you crumble Central.
Oh.
Tried to gather it and ended up bringing it back into their own goal, it seemed there, Moonsum. That is difficult.
Yeah, especially with 19 seconds left on the clock. Central needs to make a play here, otherwise they're going to concede the win to Egan. We saw some really good momentum here, Skep, earlier in the game. That being said, Central goes back in.
Oh my goodness!
Ball's right there!
No way, and they don't get it to go off the crossbar and out, and that's going to be it. Game, set, and series. Egan, in a 2-on-3, walk away with a clean 3-0 sweep, ladies and gentlemen. That is crazy work coming out of the Egan squad. My, oh my. I still think we've only seen 3-0s in Rocket League, so this is a fully panicked and alarmed Skeptor. This is we're putting out something needs to change. We can't keep seeing these 3-0s, my dude.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Skep. We need to see some aggression between each other. We need to see some back and forth. Like what we saw with Egan and Central that last game, that was encouraging. That was really fun to watch. That's what we need to see more of in every single game.
Right. Central kind of gave them too much time, man. They put up their best fight in the third game when it matters most, and it's like, okay, well, you guys were capable the whole time. Why did it take this long? You know what was so? But that's kind of the pain that I think these teams figure out when they play on stream. The nerves are up a little bit more. They're feeling it a little bit more.
100%.
Before they know it, they're down 2-0, and they're like, wait a second, guys, we're down 2-0. We got to fight back. Yeah, that's exactly how it goes. So that will conclude our Week 4 MNVL streams. That is it for us. We got Week 5 coming up, but, I mean, we are getting closer and closer to state finals. So, I mean, dude, it's time to lock in, right?
Yeah.
Playtime's over. Time to lock in. Time to start eyeballing these spots at state because they go quick, folks.
100%. And they're really close, too. If you make a couple of misplays in one game, that could cost you a trip to state. And that's not fun to be in the position of.
Yeah.
But that just puts the pressure on even more for teams to play their finest games in these upcoming weeks.
Absolutely. Yeah. But we're gonna call it here. We will see you guys back on Monday with Smash Bros. And Minecraft. And until then, have a great weekend and good luck in your games out there, soldiers.